Well, good evening, people.
Ronan and Cactus here.
Oh my goodness, usually we know who's first, but Linda said she may not be on tonight because she was having a long day. She's going through a lot. So if she makes it on, that would be great. But if not, we understand her. She's going through a lot. So welcome, Ronan in the house. Cactus. Eric, as always. Woot. So I hope you guys like this. Like, I found a lot of research on the Jersey Devils, and I hope you liked our title, The Devil Came to New Jersey. That was Eric's little invention. So, well, creativity, I should say. And I liked it a lot. So there it was. Good. I'm glad you noticed the webcam. It does look really good. I think it's a lot clearer and crisper. Hopefully it'll
be squared
in the house.
Okay, everybody up in here.
I'm just glad. It looks like then everybody got their notifications, which is good. I don't know. I don't.
Did you say again? Can't decide which channel you want to stream on. Your fault.
Gabrielle, I put it on Real Talk and on Facebook, and she put it on Real Talk on our YouTube. And I go on, and for some reason, I put it on the other side. Gabriella said, "Mom, you got it on the wrong channel." I said, "What?" And I looked up and I said, "Oh, shit." I said, "Oh, well, they'll find us. They'll make way and find us." On the other side, by the way, I don't know if it showed up yet or if it shows up that day, but on Saturdays now, you can see us again. We're going to have a new, it's going to be on the other side, but it's going to be called Gather and Gab. And it's just only going to be about whatever. Like, it's just going to be an open forum. You tell us some of your personal experiences and stories. We tell you. We keep it nice and friendly in this like nice, cool atmosphere that we've been used to. So this Saturdays, we will be talking about dreams and what do they mean to you, and pet peeves. I know we all have pet peeves. We want to hear yours. I know you'll hear a lot of ours. Like, yeah, I have a lot of pet peeves that drives me totally insane. So let's start with the weather, as I always do. It's been rather decent here. Punksy, Linda's in the house. Way to go, Linda! It's Punksy was so far off now. However, Saturday and Sunday we're going back out into the deep freeze. But next week we may hit 50. Now that's going to seem like Florida and California weather to us. That's going to be nice. But tonight it says it's 14 degrees. It feels like 9. We did almost reach 30 today. We are supposed to be around 30 tomorrow, but we have a 69% chance of snow. And they do have us under a winter storm advisory right now. It was a watch. Right now it's an advisory. So they said we may get a couple inches of snow. But I guess it depends on the system, how it swerves, how it turns, how it hits us. We'll see. We'll find out. Tomorrow will be the tell. It's supposed to hit us tomorrow into Saturday. So with that being said, I know I read the intro the other day, but I'm going to read the intro again if you guys don't mind. While I'm looking up the intro, the other thing is too, since everybody seemed to have enjoyed my story, I am doing an alternate ending. And beware, because it could possibly have some plot twists too in it. So you really seem to like my plot twist I had on the original. I should have that for our little open forum on Saturday. So I should have that ready for us then. So here is the intro. So before I go into, I found a lot and some stuff like I was like, whoa, I didn't realize that person was involved. So, but it says before there was a legend, there was a woman. In the 13? In the 13s. We're starting off good, guys.
In the earth.
In the teens, in the early 1700s, deep in New Jersey's Pine Barrens, a mother spoke words she could never take back. What was born that night didn't die. It fled into the forest and has been seen, heard, and feared ever since. Tonight, we're not talking folklore. We're talking encounters. This is the story of Mother Leeds and the thing she unleashed. Funny thing about this story, too, is as I was doing my research and got all done, as you know, we watch Project Fear. We watch Twin Paranormal. Project Fear. I know a lot of people don't like them, but we do. I'm not saying we buy everything, especially, I don't know, Project Fear is kind of like, I think their biggest quirk we have with them right now is their background music that they have. You can't hear anything because their background music. And dude, I counted 43 dudes on the last episode we watched, and most of them was from Chelsea. But ironically, tomorrow's episode, guess where they're going? Pine Barrens, home of the Jersey Devil.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
That's ironic.
So I found that, yeah, I saw that today. It showed up on my my notifications, and I'm there. Pine Barrens? Say what? So, okay, let's delve into this. Very lovely, this Tim. So,
now that we got a better webcam too, you can keep an eye on the back of there.
yeah.
Better. Since it's not all.
You can see some of my junk like over here in the house and that we got to clear out. Yet you can see my Christmas stuff a little bit better in the back.
The Christmas lights aren't making your face like super pale either.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pale.
But I look grayer, I think, don't I? Like my face like kind of looks grayish. No?
Could be from your shirt. Like the light in your shirt.
By the way, do I have a mark right here?
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max got me.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a little bit of a stretch there.
I'm so mad. Okay, so I actually had the legend written down here, or the intro rather. Okay, so let's start off with this. I'm telling you guys, some of this stuff I found in here was like, there's going to be some redundancy going on here. If you would like, sometime in the future, due to something I say, yeah, but Cactus, when you're doing an investigation and you're saying, dude, like I know the one night that we watched them, and probably Chelsea said, dude, probably 10 times within the first like couple minutes. And like, I have no problem with people saying, dude. I say that sometimes. I think a lot of people say it.
I say it when Milo's acting. I'm like, dude, stop.
Watch our pet peeves on Saturday night. Okay, so here we go. Let us begin. The backstory. 250-year-old American folklore legend from Pine Barrens of southern New Jersey. The cryptid / creature was supposed to be born 1735 as an unwanted 13th child of Mother Leeds after she cursed her pregnancy. It was a creature reportedly morphed from a human baby into a winged, hooved, and tailed beast escaping up a chimney. Now, there are variations of this story, so most of them are real similar, but some of them, they do vary depending on the time period and the lore itself. So the mother, she's supposed to be Mrs. Leeds, who was a Quaker woman in Estallville, Leeds Point, who cried, "Let it be the devil," upon discovering that she was pregnant again with her 13th child. The appearance, and it says descriptions vary. It includes a horse-like head, bat wings, cloven hooves, a forked tail, and a very piercing scream. And the piercing scream and the bat wings and the forked tail seems to be the most predominant in no matter what the legend is. So
Why does she cut herself off?
That's a good question, Linda. That's what I would have done. Like, God damn you again. Okay, let's go on. Curse. She already had 12 children. After finding out she was expecting her 13th, she claimed it would be the devil. Actions. It's supposed to terrorize the Pine Barrens, killing livestock, destroying crops, and shrieking. Now, and further in here, you will hear one of it says it has been known also to go in some of the towns in South Jersey and terrorize people. So, but the most dominant thing that it does is livestock, destroys crops and stuff like that. The sightings were described as a creature haunting the woods. Historical figures such as Commodore Stephen Decatur claimed to have seen it. The historic part behind it is Leeds Devil was tied to a real local 18th century family, the Leeds, who were disliked by the Quakers. And I have a whole story on that. And there's a surprising person who is tied in with that whole story, which you could go say, what? So, family crest. There is a theory that suggests that the legend may stem from the family crest. The crest features from wyverns, creatures with bat-like wings and clawed feet, which is strange because the creature is supposed to have hoof feet. But from what I read further on, which you will find out, the clawed feet, the back feet are supposed to be hooves, I guess, and the front is supposed to be the clawed. So, cultural. It's a local lore blamed for misfortune in the Legion. And now this stuff here that I'm going to get into, this next section, it comes from the Pinelands Alliance, which is like a publication that came out. So I should have hashtagged and gave them credit for that because that's where some of this came from. It's home to pine trees and sandy roads. In 1938, the Jersey Devil was designated as the country's only state demon. So they're pretty much the only one that actually classified a legend as a state demon.
It's kind of weird. Why would you do that?
I guess it's because it's so known and so prominent in Jersey that they actually went in that direction with it. They described it as a kangaroo-like creature with the face of a horse, a head of a dog, bat-like wings, horns, and a tail. For more than 250 years, it's said to prowl through the marshes of southern New Jersey. Periodically, it would rampage through the towns and cities. And that's where they terrorize people. And if anybody has any questions along the way here, please put them there. Gabriella can say, Mom, there's a question. I will stop. That's what this forum is all about. Most widely spread legend origin is that Mrs. Leeds was expecting her 13th child, and after being distraught with yet another pregnancy, she shrieked in disgust, "Let it be the devil." When the baby arrived, it was a baby devil. It gave a screech, unfolded its wings, and flew out the window and into the swamp. Now, there were some cases where they said when it flew and went up the chimney. So that's another one of the variations right there of it. So, let's see. Countless stories circulated claiming raiding of chicken coops and farms, destroying crops, and killing animals. His presence has been seen by many as 50 different towns, sometimes terrorizing residents. Posses were constantly formed to apprehend the devil. At one point, $100,000 was offered for the capture of it, dead or alive, but to no avail. Reports of its death was reported, but proved to be inconclusive, and the scientific community could not explain its existence. Belief is real based on real records to concrete occurrences. Reliable people, including police, government officials, businessmen, and etc., have claimed to have witnessed the devil's activities. Even to this day, people traveling down Garden State Parkway or the Atlantic City Expressway report sightings of something. Many believe the devil is still hanging around. So, any questions thus far?
I haven't seen any, but
Okay.
I'm gonna go on my phone.
Yeah, just in case. Now, the next section I got from Wikipedia. South Jersey and Philadelphia, the Jersey Devil or Leeds Devil is a legendary creature or cryptid. Now, I also, here and further along, you're going to find out scientifically they are actually calling it, I guess you can consider a tulpa, because they said they believe that it could have been created out of people's imaginations. Often described as a flying biped with hooves, most common is a kangaroo-like or wyvern-like creature with a horse or goat-like head, leathery, bat-like wings, horns, small arms with clawed hands, legs with cloven hooves, and a forked or barbed tail. It's supposed to have an elongated body and a thick tail. It moves quickly and it lets out a high-pitched, blood-curdling scream. The birth of it, they said it was supposedly born at the Japhet Leeds house on Moss Hill Road in Leeds Point, New Jersey. Known as the Pines or South Jersey Pine Barrens, also Leeds Point. And now we're going to go into the story of the mother. Mother Leeds of Burlington, but other names such as Shords have come out. Supposedly born in 1735. Now, those dates vary on here too of the birth, depending on the story, the time period, because some of this goes back to 18th, 19th century, but they're still reporting things here in the 20th century. So, born as the 13th child of Mother Leeds after being cursed, even though the child was born normally, legend says that it immediately grew wings, a tail, and claws after birth and flew out to Pine Barrens. It transformed into a legendary creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat wings, and forked tail. It is said that after it transformed, it growled and screamed and beat everyone with its tail in the house before flying up the chimney and heading out to the pines.
We have two questions. Why do they think it's the Jersey Devil and not Bigfoot?
Because of the eyewitness accounts of what people saw. None of them said that it looked like a hairy, ape-like creature. Every one of them described it, some with horns, but the same features: the bat wings, the hooved feet, the either dog or horse-like or goat-like face, those features. So they automatically, Bigfoot never even came into the picture as a possibility.
When Cactus asked, the original family house or land still there to see?
Yeah, actually, from what I read now, unless something changed, from what I read, the Japhet Leeds house on Moss Hill Road in Leeds Point is supposed to be still standing. It was still there as of 1937. And I would imagine, I didn't see anything where they tore it down or anything like that. I'm sure that it probably gets a lot of visitors, a lot of people, tourists and that, saying, hey, that's where the legend started. So to my knowledge, yes, that house is still standing. Some versions claim that Mother Leeds was a witch and the child's father was the devil himself. Some claim that local clergy tried to exorcise the creature from Pine Barrens, but they've never had any success doing that. A different story claims that the legend started not at Leeds Point, but Estaville near Mays Landing, and that Mrs. Leeds became pregnant in 1855 and rejected her baby, wishing a stork would deliver a devil. The winged devil was born and flew out the window, and would occasionally return, and Mother Leeds would shoo it away.
That one's, I don't like that.
Yeah, that one's kind of. Now we go into the Leeds family. Now this part is where things start getting like, if you thought like my plot twist was a little bit, there's like, wow, here. I mean, some of this stuff, wow. Mother Leeds, they claim to be real life Deborah Leeds. This comes from a will that her husband, Japhet Leeds, who named 12 children in the will he wrote during 1736, and is compatible with the timing of the legend. They also lived in Leeds section of Atlantic County, New Jersey. Brian Rogel, a historian of science of Keene University, said the story originates from the reputation of the prominent Leeds family, rather than a simple person, rather than just Mrs. Leeds, Mother Leeds. The southern portion of the colonial era province of New Jersey, where political and religious disputes became the subject of folklore and gossip. Rogel said that those disputes started that folklore and resulted in the popular Jersey Devil legend. Rogel claimed that colonial era political intrigue involving Ben Franklin, an early New Jersey politician, and Franklin's rival Almanac Publishing, Daniel Leeds, resulted in the Leeds family being described as monsters, and that it was Daniel Leeds' negative description as the Leeds devil rather than any actual creature that created this legend. Much like Mother Leeds of the myth, Daniel Leeds' third wife had given birth to 9 children. Leeds' second wife and first daughter had both died during childbirth. Leeds and his family were very prominent in the area. He was a royal surveyor with strong allegiance to the British Crown. He surveyed and acquired land in the Egg Harbor area located within Pine Barrens. Leeds' sons and family inherited the land, also known as Leeds Point. In the 17th century, Quakers established settlements there. Daniel Leeds, a Quaker and prominent figure, was ostracized by his Quaker congregation after publishing almanacs. In 1687, containing astrological symbols and writings, his fellow Quakers deemed the astrology as being too pagan and too blasphemous, and the almanacs were censored or destroyed by the Quaker community. In response, Leeds continued to publish these almanacs and even continued to publish more esoteric astrological Christian writings, and became fascinated with Christian occultism, Christian mysticism, cosmology, demonology, angelology, and natural magic. The plot thickens. In 1690, after his almanacs were further censored as blasphemous or heretical by the Philadelphia Quaker meetings and converted to Leeds continued to dispute with the community and converted to Anglicanism, and then published anti-Quaker tracts enticing Quaker theology, accused Quakers of being anti-monarchist. While the dispute was ensuing, Leeds was endorsed by the British Royal Governor of New Jersey, Lord Cornbury, who was despised by the Quaker community. He also served as Cornbury's counselor. Sorry for the stammering on that. Some of those words, like even like the sauce, we'll get that into a pet peeve on Saturday. Some of those, it's just hard for me, like rhythmic pet peeve. Okay, as we continue. Leeds was also called a traitor for aiding the crown and rejecting Quaker beliefs, so the Quaker Burlington meeting dismissed Leeds as evil. In 1700, the local South Jersey Quaker community retaliated against Leeds' anti-Quaker tracts with their own Satan's Harbinger Encountered, being something by way of answer to Daniel Leeds, which publicly accused Leeds of working for the devil. In 1716, Daniel's son, Titan, inherited the almanac business, which continued the astrological content and competed with Ben Franklin, his Poor Richard's Almanac. Yes, he was a Quaker. He was originally a Quaker.
Addie's here.
Addie in the house. Welcome. Yeah, he was a Quaker. He went I don't know if he was always really happy being a Quaker, but once he started publishing his almanac and getting into the astrological signs and writings and stuff, and they started having a problem with it. Plus his tie with the British and with him being a royal surveyor, they really didn't like the fact that he even had any association with the Quaker community. The competition between Franklin and Titan Leeds intensified, and in 1733, Franklin satirically used astrology in his almanac to predict Titan's death in October of that year. I mean, that's not funny, but apparently Ben Franklin thought it was. It was intended as a joke at his competitor's expense and was meant to boost sales. That's not a good way. That's a shitty thing to do, and it kind of makes me, everybody, Ben Franklin, it's like a Christopher Columbus thing all over again. Pet peeve. Titan, of course, was offended at the death prediction and published a public admonition of Franklin as a fool and a liar. In response, Franklin mocked Titan and humorously suggested that he indeed died in accordance with the earlier prediction and was writing his almanac as a ghost resurrected from the grave to haunt and to torment Franklin. So you kind of wonder if old Ben there was a little bit Lulu.
Yeah.
Pet peeve. Franklin continued to refer to Leeds as a ghost even after Leeds' actual death in 1738. Daniel Leeds' blasphemous and occultist reputation, combined with Franklin's continuous depiction of Titan as a ghost, may have been the original start of the local folklore of the legend called the Leeds Devil lurking in Pine Barrens. Possibility.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That's kind of like, there's a lot of shit, I'm telling you. In 1728, the legend began to include the family crest on the masthead of the almanacs. The inclusion of this crest on the almanacs further contributed to the Leeds family poor reputation and possibly influenced the description of the Leeds Devil or Jersey Devil. The crest appearance of the wyvern and the increasing animosity of local residents towards royal aristocracy and nobility may have helped with the legend of Leeds Devil and the association of the Leeds family with the devil and the monster. By the late 18th and early 19th centuries, the Leeds Devil became a huge legend of a monster or a ghost story in South Jersey. Sighting claims. While visiting Hanover Millwork to inspect cannonballs being fired or being forged, Commodore Stephen Decatur, which we heard about him before, witnessed a flying creature and fired a cannonball directly upon it with no effect. Now, there has been stories about that too. Monkeys in the house, woo, woo. There have been a lot of stories of people shooting it and knowing they hit it, but it has no effect on it. So, Joseph Bonaparte, elderly brother of Napoleon, claimed to have seen the Jersey Devil while hunting on his Bordentown estate around 1820. During 1840, the Jersey Devil was blamed for killing livestock, and similar attacks were reported in 1841, accompanied by tracks and loud screams. In December of 25 at Greenwich Township, a local farmer shot an unidentified animal as it attempted to steal chickens, and then he photographed the corpse. When he showed the picture to over 100 people, he claims none of them could identify what it was.
Where's the picture? I want to see it.
I want to see the picture too.
Pull it up. I want to see it.
I want to see the picture.
Where's it? If 100 people saw it, why did nobody say nothing
I ain't
about
trying Vegemite.
it? I ain't trying Vegemite.
Nope,
either.
that would be as bad as Pakistan, and don't you dare say it too, Linda. Yeah, I'm going to have to research, because I'm thinking that this could be an updated story also, because there was still a lot. I probably could have had a whole pile of stuff that big on the Jersey Devil. So I'll have to see if the photograph still exists.
I'll search for the photograph too.
Okay. On July 27th, 1937, an unknown animal with red eyes was seen by residents of Downingtown, Pennsylvania, and was compared to the Jersey Devil by a reporter for the Pennsylvania Bulletin on July 28th of 1937. In 1951, a group of boys of Gibbstown, New Jersey, claimed to see a monster matching the description. Claims of a corpse matching the description arose in 1957. 1960, tracks and noises heard near Man's Landing were claimed to be the devil. During the same year, merchants offered a $10,000 reward for the capture of it, even offering it to build a private zoo for it to house it.
That's just insane.
This was in the Camden area. From January 16th to the 23rd of 1909, newspapers published hundreds of claims encountering from all over South Jersey and the Philadelphia area. Among those claims were that there were alleged encounters of the creature attacking a trolley car in Haddon Heights and a social club in Camden. Police in Camden and in Philadelphia claimed to have fired at the creature, but with no effect.
Cactus said the sighting in Pennsylvania, is it in a location you'd be able to visit and investigate?
I don't know. I'd have to look out to see exactly where that's at. I'm going to have to see how far, because even like Philadelphia and stuff like that is a drive for us. It's not an undoable drive. It sure beats the drive that we had from South Carolina up to here, which was 11 hours. But yeah, I'm sure that it would be doable, but that's part of the research we will have to do. And hell yeah, I'd go check it. I mean, there's not any claims of it hurting people. It says they terrorize them, but I'm up to it. I'll say, well, hey there, dude. How you doing?
Yeah, you're just going to go up to the Jersey Devil and be like, hey there,
Hey
dude.
there, dude. How's it hanging? Oh, good Lord, slap my face. Claims of unidentified footprints in the snow and sightings were soon reported throughout South Jersey and as far away as Delaware and western Maryland. Now, Maryland's not that far from us either. Like, we're like only...
Yeah, it's only a few hours.
Yeah. We're pretty close to the Maryland border, too. Oh, cool. Are you going to draw some sketch? Are you making sketches of the Jersey Devil around him? Make some sketches. Let's see. The newspaper coverage sparked fear throughout the Delaware Valley, prompting schools to close and workers to stay home. Vigilante groups and groups of hunters went searching for the devil. During this time, the Philadelphia Zoo posted a $10,000 reward. This prompted a lot of hoaxes, including someone showed up with a kangaroo equipped with artificial claws and bat wings.
Wow. That's... wow.
Calling a dude probably would annoy it. Here, cute little devil, come to me.
Dude.
I'm a mama. I'll take it. No, because he'd probably say, my mama's the one that gave me a curse. Hey, I'm your auntie. I'm your gram. Skeptics believe it is nothing more than a creative manifestation, possibly a tulpa, upon the imagination of the early English settlers in South Jersey, with possible explanations including the boogeyman created by residents as a form of scary story told to children for entertainment because of the product of the Leeds family reputation.
Why did the Jersey Devil run away?
They called it a dude. Boom, boom, boom. Historically, the Pine Barrens was considered inhospitable land. Gangs of highwaymen, such as politically disdained loyalists known as the Pine Robbers, were known to rob and attack travelers there. During the 18th and 19th centuries, residents of Pine Barrens were deemed as dregs or outcasts. Poor farmers, fugitives, Native Americans, poachers, moonshiners, runaway slaves, and deserting soldiers. They were also called Pineys and were later demonized and were depicted as congenital idiots and criminals. So that's a little history of the Pine Barrens. So
I will say, being scared in the dark, seeing eyes shine in your flashlight really fuels the imagination.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yeah. However, we do have something across the street that kind of is a little scary.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but we'll talk about that some night. We'll talk about that on Saturday.
Pet peeves.
Pet peeves. Due in part to this fostered a variety of urban legends and folklores. Pine Barrens became associated with supernatural creatures and ghosts, which included the ghost of the legendary pirate Captain Kidd, who supposedly was buried in Pine Barrens and was sometimes seen in the company of the Jersey Devil. The ghost of Black Doctor, the benevolent spirit of an African-American doctor who, after being forbidden from practicing medicine due to his race, continued practicing in Pine Barrens and still practice in isolated communities and is said to come back to the aid of lost or injured travelers. There's also the ghost of the black dog, the ghost of the golden-haired girl, the white stag, etc. So there's lots of legends and lores in the Pine Barrens area because of the reputation of the land itself, the area. Jeff Brunner of the Humane Society thinks that vagrant sandhill cranes are partially the basis of the Jersey Devil. there's no hard evidence nor any explanation of its origin that doesn't require belief in the supernatural. Sandhill cranes are not indigenous or well known to South Jersey, but are about the same size and produce distinct loud sounds. The cranes would startle or frighten Pine Barrens residents, and the animal's true appearance is unclear. So that's all I got now. But there is a lot. Like, I could have continued there. It just went on and on and on. But I think what I want to do, if I want to do an update and continue, I think I want to start watching some videos and get other eyewitness accounts and see, because so far everybody's description is pretty much the same. And like I said before, the most prominent features are, some of them say horns, but the bat-like wings, the hoofed feet, clawed hands. The face varies between that of a horse, a dog, or a goat. So, and ironically, Project Fear is going there. Their show tomorrow will be there. So let's see if that's why they're going there or what the story is about them going there. Any questions?
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was. And, and I think it bothers me too that, that the doctor, racism, I mean, we still have that issue even now, but that they banned him, forbid him from practicing simply because of his race, and yet he come back. So if he come back haunting and helping people,
take it back.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I'd be there like the people. I would specifically wait for the people that abolished him from there, and I'd be flicking him off and saying, "Take that, buddy. I just helped that person. I ain't gonna help you though." He's a doctor. He would probably still help because that's how they seem to be. Most doctors, most people of the medical field, it doesn't matter what your race is, what your orientation. They will go out of your way to help you, even if you've done them wrong. There's not too many people out there in that field that will purposely allow something to happen to you. So, but any other questions? Anything about the devil, about any of the past episodes we had, the upcoming one on Saturday? We will be doing next week La Llorona. You going to do that one? Or do you want to do something else and me do La Llorona?
I'll find something else. We kind of already talked about La Llorona.
A little bit.
A bunch of other
a little bit.
Similar.
Yeah, we're trying to dive into, now I know I got to look. Matter of fact, Cactus, I did check out. I didn't watch her videos, but I scrolled through the lady that you were telling me about. She's definitely up my alley. I'm going to watch some of her episodes, and she seems, from what as I scrolling through, she seems to be pretty down to earth. She seems like how we are.
Well, Cactus sent me a video earlier, and I'm going to do some research on it. I'll show you it. She might have sent it to you too. I don't know. But I'll have to do some research on it because it's very interesting.
Well, and Miss Linda, she tried to send me some stuff, but it didn't go through. And apparently, she has something that she wants me to check out and give my opinion on. And so I'm anxiously waiting to get that stuff. So let's see. I know the Quakers don't drink, but a lot of rural folk make home brew. Well, I think that's why, like part of it where they were saying that Pine Barrens were the moonshiners and that. I think it's the same as anywhere else. I mean, you get your grade of people, you have your high society people and that, but yet in the high society, there's going to be that group that are like derelicts or cast outs, whatever, and they're going to do their own thing. even I hate saying it, I'm not knocking anybody's religion, but even in the Catholic religion, look how many problems there seems to be with priests. And from what some of the research I was even doing on that, a lot of the priests that seem to get in trouble not only with, I don't want to say that on there because, but with certain things, they seem to, a lot of them, you're finding out that in the basement of the church or in a secluded area of the church, they seem to get into demonology or Satanism. So while they're practicing Catholicism, they seem to be picking up that down in another part of the building. And that seems to be pretty prevalent with a lot of them. Matter of fact, we're waiting for word. We're trying to find that church that the lady contacted Chase about that they want us to investigate, because we're hoping if we can contact her, which we're kind of getting close, if we can contact her, then we will have a church to investigate, and who knows. And then we do want to get over in the Masonic Lodge. We already can get in. He already told us that he can book us, but it's $50 per person. And there's 5 of us, and that's just a little chunk of money that we don't have right now, even though that's really, really cheap. We're just not fortunate people to have that, to be able to do that. So we're going to see what progresses here over the next couple weeks. Hopefully we can try to get that one in, because we are guaranteed a Masonic Lodge, and that would be a fascinating place.
Cactus asks, does the Jersey Devil have many reported sightings nowadays?
Yeah, they're still saying that if you go up in the Pine Barrens area or that Atlantic Parkway, and that even nowadays there are reported sightings of some type of creature. I mean, it's been for years, and it seems like it's kind of like the Bigfoot thing and the Lizard Man and some of the others. Mothman, they're still saying that it exists. People are still reporting, but yeah, definitely.
Linda said, what do you think it is, a cryptid or a ghost? I think it's a cryptid.
I think it's a cryptid. I don't think it's a ghost. However, considering that they said people have shot at it with no effect, then you kind of think when they threw in the boogeyman thing.
Yeah, but even on like the stories, the monster story, whatever they're called, untold monster stories or whatever, they have where people said they've shot Bigfoot and it had no effect on him, just made him mad, and either had him like run after them and attack them, or like throw something at them and then run back into the woods.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't. None of us have Venmo or PayPal. We have Cash App and Zelle. That's about. I really don't. I haven't used Venmo. I know a lot of people recommend it. I don't like PayPal. I just don't trust PayPal. But I do like Cash App, and I have Zelle, and those both work real well. But yeah, there's that's another one too. The Mothman. Every place that people have claimed to see the Mothman, and they're in different areas, and the people that are claiming to see the Mothman have the same description completely. And they even showed one woman. I was watching a video. I can't remember if it was on Casper site or where I was watching it, and they showed this woman seeing Mothman, and she was up in her room, up in her hotel, and something kind of went up and it kind of pulled her up out from her window, and she went. I can't remember where she went. I can't recall the whole thing, but she described her encounter in the exact way as somebody else described it in a whole entire other location. So I guess, I don't know.
He'd be mad if he got shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's like we were laughing because we were watching Stranger Things again. We decided to rewatch the whole series, and they were showing when military, mind you, shot Dr. Brenner, and they're supposed to be like sharpshooters, and there they are shooting at Brenner, and they're hitting the ground and everywhere else. They get him in like the arm, they get him in the leg, and then finally they get him in the chest after like several shots where they're military. They should be better shooters than that. So the similarities are really, really weird with a lot of them. And the funny thing is, here's another legend, Jersey Devil, that of course the scientists are trying to dismiss as people's imagination. But if they're saying...
I think that everything that scientists and the government is trying to say is your imagination means that there's something about whatever you see or whatever that is there that actually has some reality to it, and they don't want us to know about it.
Well, they say they said very, very reliable, highly intelligent people are saying that they saw this creature, and they're saying government officials, which I wouldn't always say that they're highly intelligent. I could go somewhere with that, but
and they like to hide things.
And they like to hide things. And police officers, teachers, businessmen, very, very reliable people are reporting seeing this, and some of them said, like, they claim that they're even shooting at this. And I would like to see that picture. I would like to see that picture. And I would like to see a picture, which they said nobody has, of that sandhill crane. Why don't they have, if there is a thing called the sandhill crane, why can't you find a picture of it?
Let me see.
So, which I did not, I'll be honest, I did not look that up when I did my research on this. So
that's what a sandhill crane looks like. Hey, we saw one of those in South Carolina.
Yeah, see, but how could you mistake that for New Jersey Devil? A Jersey Devil.
The sound that it makes.
But that's not even indigenous to the area either, they said.
Well, then that could be.
So that's what's kind of weird about it, but that's it too. How do we know that could it be a skinwalker?
Well, that one's weird.
Like that one is. Now the body on that one fits how they describe the body of the Jersey Devil.
Oh, it's
the real elongated.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, but look at its body. Look how elongated.
So this is a sandhill crane. Look at the little baby. Do you see the little baby?
The little baby sandhill.
The little baby. Oh, look at how much clearer the picture shows up.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
the UFOs of late 2024, ironically, again,
we need to focus. Focus. Uh-oh.
Why? What happened?
It lost its focus. It's a little bit blurry now.
I was watching Casper site because he started redoing some videos now since his brother's passing. God bless the guy. I mean, he is amazing.
Focus. Focus.
And he is reporting recently there's more UFO sightings than ever now. And matter of fact, if you remember this past fall when Project Fear went on hiatus for a while, they were doing those mysterious lights and that. And they were shooting videos on that. So I don't know. There's a lot of, I admire the scientists and all their research and everything in that, but there's just so much stuff that I'm sorry that the scientists, they can't explain everything. I mean, I know they don't claim to be able to explain everything, but some stuff like this here, I mean, when there's all these different sightings, it can't be everybody that sees them as wacko in the head.
Yeah. I feel like every time somebody sees something or something comes out or a bunch of people are saying the same thing, and then scientists are like, "Oh, that's just in your imagination," and that's
Like
not
everybody's
real.
smoking wacky weed, or they're wacky in the
I
head or
really
something.
think
And
that they're
it's
trying to
getting
cover
old.
something up because they
Yeah.
don't want us to know about it. There's
And-
something about whatever that they don't want us to know about, and they're trying to hide it.
Yeah, it's just like you get tired of hearing, them making excuses and almost making out that everybody that's seeing and feeling or experiencing these things, that it's their imagination, or like in some cases, like poor, I hate using the term redneck people, but every time you see somebody, like especially like in the deep south and that, yep, they're redneck, he must have been smoking that wacky weed, or he's drunk. You use that profiling so often that, I mean, I do feel sorry for a lot of them sound very reliable. Just, you can't really dismiss, and it goes back to what I've said on earlier episodes that we had. Unless you're there with them, seeing the same thing or hearing the same thing they did, shut up. Shut up. You can give what you feel could be a possible explanation for it, but just shut up. You weren't there.
Yep.
So I don't know, but this webcam then does seem a lot better on your end than for you then.
Right now, I think it's a little bit blurry because it didn't refocus.
I thought it was like this right from the get-go.
No, it's a little bit. Let me.
Yeah, I don't know.
That did nothing.
Yeah, it seems like the same to me, so I don't know.
It seems a little bit more blurry to me.
But yeah, apparently I had the webcam set up right all along, and I don't know why it wasn't, unless I just didn't realize, hey, the webcam is actually set up. And
there's probably just a button that you can press or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I know I try to set it up even on here. I'm wondering though too, because I shouldn't be doing this. I've been streaming through StreamYard. I wonder if I just go on YouTube itself on our channels and stream straight from there with the webcam and with the laptop, if that would make it even clearer.
Yeah, see, was better, but lost its focus after we saw the phone screen. See, it was like right after, it's like it focused on the picture really well, but it didn't refocus
back on us. Yeah. Well, we know that there's a lot of cover up everywhere, and the government, I mean, they did come out and they admit that there are aliens and UFOs and everything, but there's so much. I mean, I'm really beginning to think that the government, because of the Bigfoot thing, more and more things are coming out, more and more people are claiming to have actual good photos of Bigfoot. I think the government has had these creatures and that all along. And now that the whole UFO thing has finally come out, I think we're going to find out more and more things going to come out over the course of years. I mean, it's just like everything, like when you're sitting in your living room and you're on your phone and you're talking about a certain subject and there's nothing on your phone at all pertaining to what you're talking about. Then you start talking about a particular subject. Next thing you know, your phone's polluted with that particular subject. The government, something, they just don't pop up ironically when it could be a topic totally out of the blue, and then all of a sudden it shows up on your phone. Or our Alexa, we'll be sitting in the living room and there's times she'll just come on and say, I didn't understand what you said. I don't know if I can answer that. And that's pretty damn creepy. I yell at her. I tell her to quit spying on us. Pet peeve. So it's just insane. It's totally insane. And if you watch Shane Dawson on YouTube, Gabrielle and Abby watched him avidly there for a while, faithfully. and I decided I'd watch him. And I like his conspiracy theories, but he did this whole thing on AI. And I'm telling you what, if you want to be scared, watch that episode, and some of the things that he does on there and talks about will send chills right up your spine.
Yeah. Most people don't like Shane Dawson because of things that happened in the past, and they canceled him, and he is gay and everything else. So he has it all against him. But me and Abby have been fans of his since probably we weren't even supposed to be watching him. But we've been watching him for a while, and we love his conspiracy theory videos. And the one on AI that I think was like a year or two ago, maybe a little bit longer actually, is absolutely insane. And after that video, I was like, what are we gonna do? Because like, if AI takes over, we're fucked.
Well, remember that time we were like kind of,
And it's getting smarter and smarter.
Remember
by
that
the
time
day.
we were messing with Alexa because we know she was listening in on us, and where they're like, Alexa, why are you spying on us? We value we value your privacy, and we take steps to assure that your privacy is however she does it. Where there, well, then how come you were able to answer or bring up a subject that we were just talking about and we didn't even ask you about it? And it kind of like did this like noise in the background, like a
It was like it was thinking.
yeah. And then it says, I can't answer that. And then we're there, well, then you were spying, because how else would you know what we were talking about? And then you'd hear that like little technical thing in the background again. And then it would be, I can't answer that. And we're the, yes, you can answer that because you know darn well that you were spying. And like we were arguing, and it got to the point then at one point it made like a like noise,
Yeah.
and then went out, and
Then she didn't answer.
yeah,
at
then
all.
she wasn't talking to us at all then after that, and it was kind of creepy.
I think we literally had to reset her because she literally stopped talking.
Oh, we had fun with Siri, Cactus. We got down when we were in South Carolina.
When I had my phone.
Yeah, Gabriella and I, we were like having a big argument with Siri, and she's just saying that that's not very nice, and you know, we're just going back and forth, and we were howling.
I was picking on Siri, and Siri was like, "That's not very nice. That's not a very nice thing to say." And I was like, "Oh, too fucking bad."
and you're not being very nice, you know. And
She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel bad," or something like that. And I was like, back and forth, back and forth. Funny you should mention that.
Yeah.
Go watch Shane Dawson's video because he says that too.
Yep. That is kind of like, you often think when that movie was written, what some of the knowledge about that type of technology actually exist and helped with that movie, because there's like some really scary shit going on out there.
I confess I've never played with AI, but I've been thinking about trying it to understand it better. The best I would say is don't ask it anything government related, because
then it seems like it starts constantly. I think that's where we went wrong the first time, because we heard a lot of people saying, do you know that your Alexa spies on you? And where they're like, oh. So we decided to play around with it, and we started talking about the government, and then we started getting this weird shit constantly.
she even laughed at us
Yeah.
like the one time. She like
a real evil.
it was
like,
really creepy.
Yeah.
We had to unplug her for a while.
Yeah.
And we were like, nope,
Yeah.
not having this anymore.
Yeah, it was bad, and I suggest that if you do, just do for like, well, I use it her a lot right now for setting timers, And for sometimes in the morning, if I don't want to turn on the TV or anything, I'll say, can you play me some songs, some soft music?
When we're doing our research, we go on ChatGPT or GPT, yeah, or the AI search that's automatically on Google now, which is also creepy, by the way, because you go to search anything on Google, AI is the first thing to pop up with whatever you searched. And either AI will say usually something completely different than anything else on any of the other pages. So you don't know what to believe until you start reading that it's not what AI said. And it's interesting why AI thought that when it's supposed to be getting the information from the other websites and the internet. So, what?
Super vanilla questions.
I'm trying to piss off AI. Yeah.
Well, I like AI, even though I can create intros and outros and little stories and that on my own. I do like using the Chat GPT for like a little slight intro, like the intro that I had for the Jersey Devil.
You can even do that with CapCut.
Yeah.
I like doing the AI things on CapCut. There's templates, and either some of them you have to have like points for, or most of them are free. And you just click on it, you add a picture from your gallery, and it makes it into either a really beautiful picture or it's usually something really cool. So that's usually what I do with AI.
I use ChatGPT a lot, and I use CapCut a lot. Matter of fact, on my TikTok channel, I use CapCut a lot, and I'm still trying to find out how I'm going to do my live. I did do the one live about the haunted mirror that Tom don't like on there, but I want to start doing lives on there, but I'm trying to figure out what route I want to go with it, because I do call myself Haunted Mama on there, but I don't, and the more I see people on there, I'm worried about people making fun or bashing me or body shaming me, and they're like, some of the people I see on there, they're like, well, I shouldn't have that worry, but I guess I'm just.
There's a cringy side to TikTok.
Yeah, I guess I'm a worry wart. I don't mind people criticizing and that, but when it gets to body shaming and downright personal insults, and that's why we got away with the political and religious, because you can't have a one-on-one, debate. Hey, yeah, well, I don't agree with that, and just go on. I've noticed that when you try to get into a conversation, even if it goes haywire, then they resort to calling names and doing very, very personal attacks. And I don't like that very much. I mean, if you can't be adult and just do one-on-one, or just if you don't agree with something and you got tired of arguing, there's a little thing called a scroll mechanism on there. Just scroll past it, leave it go. But they don't get it, and they have to throw in the personal insults. So that's where my fear is on that whole thing.
Well, the good thing is on TikTok you can turn off the comments.
That's true.
So
it's true.
But I think you can turn off the comments on YouTube too.
Yeah,
if you really wanted to,
but I'm wondering, do you think we should start going on YouTube itself? Or do you like the StreamYard? Well, StreamYard is good that if we do want to guess, like Monkey comes on, if Monkey wants to be live with some stories on that from New Mexico in the future.
And the banners and things.
And the banners and stuff like that. So, I mean, it does go straight to YouTube. But I don't pay for my StreamYard. I got the free version. And I know I've been getting like these threatening little notifications saying anything that's over a year old will be taken off. Which nothing has been. Let's keep our fingers, because I don't want all those videos removed.
Well, it would be removed probably from StreamYard itself,
but not from
YouTube, because we went live.
Yeah,
like, that's our video.
Yeah. So I just, I'm trying to keep a format open. I'm trying to think of a way to carry some of these shows here to TikTok so that we can expand our audience, because even though we're liked on here and we get people watching, we're not really up to where we want to be. But I mean, we have all of our faithfuls here, but I mean, I would like to see it grow, and we are coming on more and more. So right now we're on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and it's going to be Saturdays, and then we throw those extra days in there. I would eventually like to have like maybe Tuesday through Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, have a show, and have, of course, Tuesdays is Other Side, Thursdays is Real Talk, but in between have an addition to both of those shows, but carry it on to TikTok. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think if we start shooting on TikTok, we can actually include The Other Side and Real Talk. When we're filming live on TikTok, we can include those two,
Well, I think
and cover all three of those together. I think you can do two.
Yeah, I think only two at a time.
So we would be able to carry both of those other two channels right on with the TikTok one, and we can hopefully maybe pull in a bigger audience. Well, that's true, Linda. You said people don't seem to argue without personal comments. That seems to be what the big problem is I mean, and it's not even, it shouldn't even, I guess debating is kind of a form of arguing, but you can't have a good, healthy debate without the personal attacks. But it seems like it'll go okay, and every situation. Matter of fact, I'm going to get back to the political thing. When I used to post a lot of political stuff, and my one, I think it was a cousin, made a long post, and I simply said, I agree with you. That's all I said. And then I get a personal message from another cousin saying, I do not appreciate you coming on my page and making comments. I said, wait a minute, I didn't make the comment. I just simply said, I totally agree with you. Like, well, you keep your opinions to yourself and stay off my page. I'm like, okay, so I scroll. I normally scroll. If I don't agree with somebody, I scroll, but I did agree with the comment that was made. And that's what like threw me through the ropes. And then they started making comments because we had cats, and they kind of turned the cats into something dirty and ignorant and awful. And it's just, people are awful these days.
Still want my buddy Bears to talk to you about his experience seeing that fireman, but he's at work all year long.
Yeah. Get like I said too, with us having StreamYard, if anybody like I said, I had brought up Monkey Cactus, any of you guys, if you ever want to be a guest on here and talk live on our show, that's what this format is about. We want to be as comfortable with you in your place as what you are or feel with us here in this format.
B-Squared said, do you need StreamYard or OBS to use YouTube? I don't really understand that. So YouTube, you can do lives and regular videos without StreamYard or OBS. But
what's OBS?
It's another thing like StreamYard. Kind of like Twitch, actually. It's just like another webcam thing. But anyways, but if you want to add a guest to the live, then you would need StreamYard or OBS or one of those for YouTube.
See, I can do videos. I mean, and I was even thinking of that, of doing videos on there, and then do a premiere, and then we could, when it's playing, then I can answer questions that way, because I've done that on here a couple times, which I think I should do a couple more of those, so that way I can do it in the afternoon and premiere it for maybe, like, is everybody okay with this time? Because I know we miss Angelina a lot because for Angelina, a lot of times this time format is just not good for her because of her medication and her heart and everything. She gets tired pretty easily. But are you finding this 9 o'clock time slot good, or do you think we should try to make it like earlier in the day? Anybody can answer that. That's up for grabs for anybody or everybody.
Well, this is kind of the best time for us though because
It is.
the dogs.
Yeah, because for us, like Gabriella said, by the time we get done with our supper, it's usually about 6 o'clock or so, and then we take the dogs out. The dogs usually go out anywhere from the earliest we've taken them out was 7, and we normally take them around 8. By the time we're done with the dogs and everything, 9 o'clock seems to be perfect for us. And we have like a kennel that we put them in at night. We could try to do a video with them out, but I'm telling you, they're horses. If we tried to do a video with those dogs out, they're going to be up on the table. They're going to be reaching the laptop. They're going to be pulling stuff off the table. They are that rambunctious yet. They still have that puppy craziness in them yet. So it just would not be a good result if we tried to do anything. But
So for B Squared and Cactus, it's 6 when we go live.
so that's early for them. Yeah, so
Kiwi said, I like it, but whatever works for you.
yeah. Kiwi, I don't worry about her because she seems to find time no matter what time. We could probably go on 11 o'clock and she'll probably say, hey, I can get a couple hours sleep or something, then I'll wake up. She's been, yeah, she's been good no matter what. I mean, she was our first real constant fan, and then everybody else that came on, I can't say one negative, even slightly negative thing about any of our people that come on. I mean, we have, and I know I'm being redundant, we probably have, we might not have the crowd that other people have yet, but the people that have come on, they stay with us, they're faithful, and they are the best.
Mm-hmm.
And we can both honestly say that they are the best.
And they're all moderators.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, how can we complain? Yeah, we might not have that big, fan base yet, but look who we got. We got the most faithful people on the face of the earth. So,
Doggy King Peewees.
Yeah. They would probably try that kiwi, and I think that's what's they're so big. Like I have a mark. I don't know. Yeah, you can see it right here.
Yeah.
Max, right when Eric took him to go out to go potty tonight, he jumped on me, almost knocked me over, and I could feel the slice. And I had to say, hey, do I have a mark there? Yeah, I do. And I mean, they got me right here. Did you see that? They got me in my arm there. I don't know if you, you can see it.
That's the one that was bleeding.
Yeah, they got me there today. So, I mean, I hope they outgrow that soon because we want to be able to have them, like especially at night. We don't like having them in a kennel at night, but they're like billy goats right now. They eat well. Max probably weighs 100, 125 pounds. Sia doesn't look heavy, but go pick her up, you'll break your back. But she's very streamlined because she's a German Shepherd. But if we left them out running loose, they're like billy goats. They would eat everything inside, anything they see. They love napkins. For some reason, they think napkins, cotton candy or something. They love napkins.
They do. They would literally steal it out of your hand.
Yeah.
Like you'll go to blow your nose or something. They're like, oh, what's that?
They would probably go in our bath and we would have to lock the door, or not lock it, but shut the door, because they would probably go in, oh, toilet paper. Oh, that's more cotton candy. And they would probably pull the toilet paper off the roll and eat the toilet paper. Like they literally are billy goats.
They're weird.
You would see her ate last night when Eric took her out to, or was that this morning? That might have been this morning when he took her out to go to the bathroom. A frozen spider.
Ooh.
He said he crunched her like it was an M&M.
Ooh.
So yeah, napkins are dog candy. They and plastic bags. They will. I gotta say, we do have our garbage out in that hallway, and they really don't go towards that garbage. They go for everything but the garbage. They go.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I think it depends on what was cooked. 'Cause
And what
if
was
there's-
thrown in there.
If they know that there's bones or something in there, I think they go for it. But other than that, I think they're good. I knew some kid who ate what?
Yuck.
Who ate the napkins from the lunch table?
Well, with Max and Sia, the funny thing about it is when I see them eating the napkins, the image that goes in my mind is Alf sitting in the doctor's office on the table and
the
pulling out the
balls.
cotton balls and eating them. Like, that's how Max and Sia are with napkins.
Why would you even?
Why do kids eat glue? So,
I mean,
are you consistent with commands and boundaries, though? That's the most important thing. We are.
They
You're
just
talking about
don't
with
listen.
yeah. They're just, even though they are now over 2 years old, they still have that puppiness in them, and they like, we can say sit, we can tell them to lay down, they will listen. But if you say don't go over there, leave that alone, they'll just say, hey, it's cotton candy, I'm going to eat that napkin, or hey, I see that. I have this little plaque that Abby got me like a year ago or so. I can't remember if it was for Chris. I think it might have been Mother's Day. It looks like a little easel, and there's writing on it, and it stands up. I have it standing up on my one shelf in the living room. It's a small like bookshelf, and for some reason, Sia in particular has to knock that little sign over every chance she gets. She goes over. I went today. I look over. There's her nose, and she knocks it onto the floor. And they're like, "I hope you're happy you did
yeah,
that."
it's funny because when we had the Christmas tree up, the only ornament she would either knock over or like move to the side or something was Dad's airplane.
Tom loves airplanes. He's a pilot, and he goes and he's up on his flight simulator. So we buy him a lot of stuff airplane related, and the girls bought him an airplane Christmas ornament, and I printed him off some airplane models. But all the ornaments that was on the tree, beautiful ornaments all over the tree. That one in particular.
She would go up to, knock it with her nose, knock it over.
But Sia is Tom's dog. So apparently she likes airplanes as much
The
as Tom
only
is.
thing I can think of is that she smelled his scent on it and
I don't know.
was like, why is this the only one that smells like that?
But like a lot of people with big horse dogs like that, and cats too, you have to put like up a gate or something around the tree so that animals don't get to it. They did not care about that tree whatsoever. I even had garland around our fireplace, and they didn't bother the garland. Now they did go after my Santa Claus. Sia likes going after my one Santa Claus that I have. His robe that he has on.
The Santa Claus and not the manger scene, but the village.
Yeah, and she was curious about the village. Like, hey, what's up there? Like, are there people in there? What is that? But she didn't. They didn't knock him over or take him off.
No, they just sniffed it.
It's
Like,
just like, what is that?
Why is that?
So, but
Glue was tasty. I low key wanted. I would eat those lip smacker chopsticks.
I think
Okay,
I think a lot of people with the chapsticks and that. I think everybody, mainly girls that had the chapsticks, the flavored ones. Like, I wonder
Yeah,
what this
yeah.
tastes like.
it's
you-
like an intrusive
yeah.
thought. You're like,
Yeah. I think but a lot of people don't know, which I'm sure you ladies do because you're all smart and everybody on here is very intelligent. They do contain castor oil. So if you want to get the shits, eat a lot of chapstick.
could be like me who ate white crayons.
Yeah, Gabriella said she ate white crayons because she wanted her teeth to be whiter.
Yeah, I don't know why, but as a kid, I thought that instead of brushing my teeth, I could go and get a white crayon from each and every crayon box that we had, and that eating it would make my teeth whiter. And heads up, it's not. It doesn't. Don't do it.
B Square says, I've raised a few Rotties by 2 years. They should be pretty calm and stop trying to eat everything. That's what we thought. That's what we thought, because when we had King, he was a Labrador, beautiful dog, bright blue eyes.
Good night, Linda.
Good night, Linda. When we got him when he was 9 months old, because we didn't get him as a baby. And by the time he hit, even before 2, he was pretty calm. What?
Cactus. Okay, Gabby accepts the chopstick and crayons, but draws the line at eating napkins. Napkins don't have flavor. Why would you eat them?
Good night, Linda. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Keep me updated with how everything's going with you. You know, I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Chopsticks, I think it's the texture of them too. They're like chewy. So like, well, they're not chewy, but they kind of melt. They kind of melt in your mouth.
But that's one, like I said,
and they have flavor. But crayons, they don't really have a flavor. I think it was for the crunch.
Yeah.
Maybe that could have been another reason why I did it, but it was only ever the white ones. Because she would go to try to find a white crayon because we would have her color with us. And she was, where's the white one?
Well, we'll talk about it on Saturday. Remind me on Saturday in case, and I think I might have brought it up one time before, my little detective work with the kids. Remind me to bring up.
I don't think you did.
Remind me on Saturday on Gather and Gab about, just say candles. Remind me candles, and I will tell you a little story about candles and my wonderful 2 daughters. So, and well, I'm going to stop there. Just remind me to tell you that story. So, but we have been the hour and a half mark.
Mm-hmm.
I will do some more research on this. We will eventually on one of these, it'll probably be a Tuesday because I think it's better on the other side. I think the other side we'll use for like updates. And Thursdays will be for like our main stories. I think that'll work out better in the long run if we do that. So we will do some updates on some of these stories and that. Any updates, anything we'll find out, we'll bring to Tuesday's show, whatever that may be, which I'll announce this weekend. No, these earrings, they're popcorn.
If the thing would focus.
Let's see. Show my ugly face up close.
Hold on, I'm trying to get it to focus on us. You have to kind of go like this.
The popcorn. Little popcorn containers. Yeah,
Don't. Stop it.
I can't help it. I'm creepy looking. But yeah, we'll do updates and that then, but remind me that on Saturday. And I will tell you that little story on there. But as of right now, I know poor Linda, we put her to sleep here tonight, and she had a long day. But we're at the hour and a half. I'm going to try to make sure maybe on Saturday nights we can extend it because it is the weekend, and that's up to how you guys feel. But we're going to call it a night here. I'm glad you guys like the better quality camera here that we got. Hopefully next time too, we'll get it in focus and keep it focused. It still looks better than what it was before. But with that being said, you know how we end. We're going to say stay tuned, y'all.
Peace out.
Love you lots. Thanks everybody for showing up again. You guys are awesome.
Bye.
Bye.